Well, it's another little trek. It's always difficult when especially when the light's failing. You're trying to do video and gather your thoughts as well as walking down slippery paths. It's been one of the stormiest days of the year so far, of this storm season. They always start about September and go through to February. And must be honest with you, it's quieting down a lot. And the good thing is there's nobody here. And me being a weirdo, I like walking around where there's nobody about. Anyway, putting all that to one side, I want to talk about muscular Christianity. It's one muscular or masculine. I'm not sure it's muscular or masculine or muscular. Either way, is it a thing? If it is, what does it mean? And is it Christian? I suppose that's the question. And I think if we think about this, let's start the best place to start with anything Christian is with Jesus. And I think we can safely say that Jesus Christ was the most muscular Christian of all and the most masculine Christian of all. When you think about his life, he wasn't brought up in a palace. He wasn't brought up with soft hands and a hard heart. He was brought up with hard hands and a genuinely gentle, soft heart. You know, the little prayer that you pray when you're a kid, gentle Jesus, meek and mild. You see, if you've got hard hands and a soft heart, that's what makes you a real man. And the problem is, most of us now are the opposite. We have hard hearts and soft hands. And that's not a good thing. But Jesus was the opposite. So I think in a way, yes, we can say that muscular Christianity and masculine Christianity is a real thing. When you think about the atonement, you think about the physical agonies of the atonement. So we looked a little bit about Jesus being a carpenter, Jesus being very physically fixed. He walked everywhere. He wasn't being carried around in one of those ridiculous little, I don't know what they call them. They're like a little carriage, aren't they, that the Romans used to get carried around in by slaves. But Jesus walked everywhere. Jesus was a carpenter, so Jesus would have been strong and fit without a shadow of a doubt. But when you think about the atonement and you think about the cross, what did Jesus say? He said, don't you know that I could call for, I can't remember the exact phrase, it was legions of angels, but basically what he was saying was, Jesus was saying, I could call on every single angel in all creation, every single angel in heaven to come and help me. But I didn't. Because Jesus set his face like flint to go to Jerusalem to die for the sins of the world. That is the most masculine thing that any man has ever done. Because he knew the pain he was going to suffer. He knew the agonies he was going to suffer. So, psychologically, spiritually, and physically, Jesus was the man of men. Literally, the real superhero. The one who really defeated evil. The one who really saw off the bad guys. And the ultimate bad guy. And destroyed his power. So, muscular Christianity and masculine Christianity is a real thing. But it's not what people think either. I think, you know, as I huff and puff going up this little stairway, we should all be fit. We should all be able to defend ourselves and to defend our families. Absolutely 100%. By the way, I'm just going to pan this camera around so you can see this beautiful, beautiful scenery behind me. But no, I think it's absolutely right that we're physically fit. But the other thing about being a muscular and masculine Christianity is having that soft heart and having that teachable heart and having that heart that submits that submits to the will of the Father. That's the key. That's what masculine and muscular Christianity really means. And to be honest with you, I'm probably failing on both counts. I'm not saying that, I'm laughing when I'm saying it. I'm not saying it because it's funny. I'm saying it with a sense of irony. Because what we need to be are men that go full tilt for God. And men that are so filled with the Holy Spirit that we can endure all things. We can endure pain. We can endure suffering, physical, emotional, spiritual. And we can come out the other end of it. And we come out the other end of it knowing that God the Father will say, well done, now good and faithful servant. Now, a lot of you that watch my videos, you know my story. I've recently been finding my way back to God after backsliding. And I think the truth of the matter is, a lot of Christians are like that. A lot of Christians are like me. We've got soft hands and hard hearts. And that's something that absolutely needs to change. So we need muscular and masculine Christianity. But I'll tell you what muscular Christianity doesn't mean. It doesn't mean that you go out with the lads, drink 10 pints and get into a punch-up on a Friday night. That's not masculine or muscular. It really isn't. It's just stupidity. It could mean that you go to the boxing gym and get yourself fit at the boxing gym, or you go to the local mixed martial arts gym and you start learning how to defend yourself and by default defend other people. Because that's really important. Sadly, it's going to become more important as times go on. Could mean you join the military. If you can't join the full-time army, join the TA. There's lots of ways to be masculine without being a womanizing thug. And I think the reality is that that's a lesson that probably 80% of men in the UK need to learn. That's men that are men's men, lads. Now, the sort of sissified men, well, they need to learn the opposite. Yes, they may think they have soft hearts, but a lot of their soft-heartedness is just cowardice. A lot of their soft hands are because they wouldn't know how to pick up a shovel or a hammer or dig a hole on a building site. And I think in that case, then it'd be a very good thing for them to harden their hands. But the reality in all of this, whether you're a physically tough guy, whether you're physically weak, that's not the issue. The issue is, what has God done in your life? What has God the Holy Spirit done? How have you been changed by your experience of God? I think that's the key. That's the key in all this. And are you born again? Do you have the Spirit of God dwelling in you and changing you? And that's the question that we've all got to answer. And we've all got to ask ourselves on a very, very regular basis. Like I say, I've come back from some very dark spiritual places of my own making. And I never want to go back there again. But what I do know is the only way I can achieve anything through God is by submitting to Him and by having His Spirit fill me. And there's a little shower of blessing just coming down and going to soak me to the skin. But we all need showers of blessing from the Holy Spirit. We all need soaked in the Holy Spirit. We need marinated and saturated in the Holy Spirit. That's something years ago when I was going to charismatic churches. There's a lot of criticism of charismatic churches among the sort of fundamentalist circles, and I think there were some of them were justified, but a lot of it was, again, hard-heartedness. So we need the Spirit. We need the Spirit of God, but we need to copy the fundamentalists in this. We need to be men of the Word. Men of the Word. Not men of the world, men of the Word. Men of the Bible. And that takes time, it takes effort. And again, that put calluses on your hands as well. Because if you're spending time in the Word, it's time that you're not spending watching TV, you're not spending watching football, you're not spending down the pub. You're spending it in the Bible, God's love letter to mankind. Anyway, I just thought those thoughts would hopefully inspire some, hopefully give clarity to some people. Because like I say, I like the sound of muscular, masculine Christianity. Because there's too much sissification in the church, there has been for years. But we've got to make sure we don't go in the wrong direction. We've got to make sure that masculine Christianity is genuine Christianity. And then that'll make you like Christ. You'll have hard hands and a soft heart. See you all soon.